G'day, Jeremy here from Power Farming. We've just released our latest edition of the Powerzone magazine. This is our spring-summer edition and has a very strong focus on grass equipment. In this magazine we have a lot of mowers, rakes, tedders, balers. Today we're going to focus on our Kvernerland mowers. As you can see, this Kvernerland mower has already been out on demo, covered in grass, been working. If you need a demo on it or want to get a great demo or a great deal, come and see one of our Power Farming dealers and have a yarn to them. As mentioned, we're going to focus on what to look for on these Kvernerland mowers. First thing is the cutter bar. The cutter bar is where all the action happens. It's what gets the hardest amount of work. First thing to always look at, clean away, is all the grass. As mentioned, this one's had a quick wash and obviously has already been out and working. One thing you want to look at is obviously your discs. Check them and make sure that they're nice and free. Kvernerland, as you'll see, can use a nice round cutter bar disc, and the reason for that is that they're less susceptible to stone damage and it allows better flow of the crop. While checking your disc, make sure that there's no stone damage, so no chunks taken out of it, and if there is, then obviously look at replacing it. Check for any rocking motion. If there is any, then that's a sign that your bearings within the module may need replacing very soon. Obviously on a cutter bar, the mowing knives themselves are what does the majority of the work. This is what gives you a nice clean cut. Kvernerland knives are made of good quality steel. Basically when you're looking at them, make sure there's no hunks taken out of them, that they're not too worn down, because at the end of the day, a nice sharp knife gives you a nice clean finish and reduces your horsepower consumption. While you're checking your knives, also check your blade bolts and nuts. Some machines like this run what they call a quick fit system, but the principle is the same. You still need to check them for any damage to them. When you're checking your blade bolts and nuts, make sure that they haven't worn and make sure that there's no chunks taken out of them. The last thing you want is a blade flying through the air at a great rate of knots. We recommend your blade bolts and nuts should be changed every second time you change your blades, unless of course you find some damage in them every time. While I'm in here, you'll see this particular one runs conditioner tines. Make sure that they're all nice and loose and that there's none missing. As I mentioned on the front mount mower there, the conditioner tines need to be nice and loose. What you will have noticed is that those were steel tines. On the back one here, we've actually got plastic conditioner tines to help bruise the crop to get the most out of it. What we want to do is make sure that they're all there, because if one is missing, it will create an imbalanced rotor shaft through your mower, which will lead to bearing failure in the actual rotors. So make sure that they're all there, none are missing. The other thing, since the cutter bar is up like this, you can check your skid plates or your wear plates, making sure that these don't have holes in them unless they're meant to be there, and making sure that they're not overly worn and you're not actually wearing on the cutter bar itself. So give them a good look over, check them out, check them for stone damage in particular, and make sure that they're in good nick. Okay, so another thing to look at within your cutter bar is your oil levels. So when these are laid out flat, you want to be able to see how much oil is in it, and you also want to be checking your gearbox oil level. We recommend changing the oil every season. We have the correct dedicated cutter bar oil available online on partsdirect.farm, and of course our dealers also carry it. Go into your local dealer, they will also be able to tell you how much oil is required for both your gearboxes and your cutter bars, and also your operator's manual, if you still have it, will also tell you that as well. Lastly, when you're looking at your mower, check to see obviously if it's a built drive machine or it's a PDO drive shaft type machine. If it's a built drive machine, check your belts and make sure they are tensioned correctly. Belts are quite expensive and they smoke up quite easily and break. If your machine is a PDO driven machine like this one, always make sure that your PDO shafts are well greased, and also that your friction clutch has got a nice new set of friction plates in there, and that it has been set to the correct safety rating. That way you'll get the best out of your machine for the season ahead. Your local Power Farming dealer will be able to help you with this information. If you're not sure, call in and see them and they'll be able to help and assist you for any parts for your mower. So remember, when you're coming into the season, give your mower a good check over. If you find anything that needs replacing or you're not sure, contact your local Power Farming dealer or jump online to www.partsdirect.farm and get in contact with us. And remember, Power Farming, we are your one-stop shop for this cultivation and grass harvest season.